answer. The idea that we have schooling that teaches kids that education is about knowing all the right answers is a very destructive idea. 30, the capacity to function effectively in an environment in which communication skills are vital in work groups. So you can imagine, remember that video, how synchronous supportive that kind of learning is for this kind of skill development. Here's another quote from Bob Galvin, the former famous CEO of Motorola. While most descriptions of necessary skills for children do not list learning to learn, this should be the capstone skill upon which all others depend. Memorize facts, which are the basis for most testing done in schools today, are of little use in which, in an age when information is doubling every 2 or 3 years. We have expert systems and computers and the internet that can provide the facts we need when we need them. Our workforce needs to utilize facts to assist in developing solutions to problems. So the bad news is that most science education is not like this science education. Here's what we do in science class most often. Here are the 4 strands again. If you look at textbooks, you look at what happens in most science classes, we're teaching kids to know scientific explanations of the natural world. And I'll give you some examples. It ends up being science education as mentioning. I'm a cell biologist. I love the endoplasmic reticulum, but I didn't learn about it until I was in graduate school. Somehow we have the idea, this is a periodic table in 5th grade, we have the idea that putting more and more difficult, complex things at lower levels is improving education. It's just the opposite, it's ruining education. Here's a 7th grade life science textbook, which is actually the hardest book I think anybody could ever read because you can't understand it. Running through the cell is a network of flat channels called the endoplasmic reticulum. That's a bold word. There's generally 3 or 4 bold-faced words on every page. Then this organelle manufactures, stores, and transports materials. Then there's a trivial test. There's a chapter. I'm not making this up. This is a chapter. This chapter self-test, which is 16 pages later. Write a sentence that uses the term endoplasmic reticulum correctly. And so this is what they're supposed to. This is supposed to be education. Memorize this. Memorize those 2 sentences. Okay, that's supposed to be education. No, I would get turned off from education if I thought that's what adults were thinking I was supposed to be doing in school. I mean, it's just terrible. Now here's California. They probably put up on their website some sample test items. They're all multiple